Men's Warehouse and Lord & Taylor are the latest retailers to file for bankruptcy protection during the pandemic. Rena Sargentopoulos spoke with a bankruptcy expert about what that term actually means for consumers.
And most economists, bankruptcy experts believe that 2020, 2021 will be much greater than what we saw in 2008.
So far, 2020, I think most of us can agree, is not awesome. And the growing list of retailers filing for bankruptcy protection is just another kick in the tush.
There are typically two types of bankruptcies available to a corporation or corporate entity.
Robert Hoagland operates Minnesota's largest bankruptcy law firm. He says just because a company files for bankruptcy doesn't necessarily mean it will cease to exist. There are two options. First, Chapter 7.
Where the company is liquidated, assets are liquidated and distributed to creditors on a pro rata basis. And that's where the company pretty much shuts down. The other type of bankruptcy available is a Chapter 11. That's a debt reorganization, a repayment plan where the corporate debts are restructured and realigned, and that business typically stays afloat.
Stores like Ann Taylor, GNC, JCPenney, and J. Crew have plans to downsize by closing stores and reorganizing debt. The hope is by doing so, they can continue to stay in business. But it doesn't mean there are no losers in the process.
But I think a lot of the big losers in these situations are the employees. If you have these larger corporations that are shutting down half or three-quarters of their stores, obviously those stores had employees who would be out of jobs.
Hoagland says companies who were already struggling before COVID or had made big acquisitions or expansions are the ones hurting the most.
They had prepared a business model relative to a very good economy that everybody was used to. I mean, nobody prepared for this at all.
Rena Sargentopoulos, KARE 11 News.
Hoagland says bankruptcy filings will not only rise for corporations this year and next, but personal filings are also expected to climb as people continue to lose their jobs.